Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on Clash. Now, the first things that I wanted to talk about with Clash, just to get these out of the way right away, is that with Clash, you're pretty much essentially a hard counter to shields currently in the meta. And since she's not bannable right now because of the new change with her whole kit, this essentially means that since she's not bannable currently, I believe it's only going to last until mid-season, that means you technically don't have to use any of your bans on banning shield operators, and you can just freely play her up until they make it so she's bannable again. Now, the main reason why she's a hard counter is because when Clash is on a shield player like a Blackbeard in this example here, he can't shoot, he can't melee, he can't do any of that. Now right here you're going to see here he melees my bandit, but then I zap him and he's unable to shoot to kill the bandit in this position, which just basically saves the life of my bandit here, making shields borderline useless right now in the current meta of Siege with having Clash on the board. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is whenever you're in a 1v1 position with Clash versus somebody else. Now, in this specific round, the last player is Zero. He's on the brown stairs. He's going to walk towards me to try to kill me. However, one of the tech that I have is that I can vault through my shield. It breaks the shield, but I'm able to catch this guy completely off guard. I pre-fire all the way through when I'm vaulting through, and it gives me a free kill. Now, with that being said, Clash, even before the update, was always a very powerful operator capable of shutting down one very specific side of a push. So, for example, if we're on Oregon here, basement bomb site, the enemy team, the previous round to this current round, they did a freezer main push, okay? Now, the idea here that I'm going for here is that I want to shut down one of the sides of this push. So I'm going to opt to deny freezer here. Now, the reason why I'm standing right here in freezer is because, say they rush for main, I just want to be in a position where I can still rotate to main, worst case scenario, but I'm still playing back, where if they decide to commit for freezer main, then I'm right here ready to go to shut down one side of the push. And that's the main goal that you guys need to have when you are playing Clash that I want you guys to understand. The other really important concept that I need you guys to learn is that when you place your shield down, there is technically that's the strongest play on paper that Clash can do, because then she can force the gunfights herself. She has basically a full clear shield in front of her face that she's able to play a deployable shield or a mirror. So you're basically making it so it's impossible to push her unless the enemy team uses some kind of utility first to get rid of the shield. However, the thing about Clash in this meta right now is that there's many ways to avoid that play in particular, where you're able to place down your shield, and for example, if the enemy team tries to Gone 6 you or something, you're going to be able to pick up your shield if you suspect they're about to Gone 6 your shield, and then just completely negate them trying to get rid of your shield, which basically negates that side of the push. Does that make sense? Now right here, the enemy team is opting for a meeting hatch laundry freezer push here. So the idea that they're going for is that they're trying to Ying drop, and they did actually Ying drop here, but we did get the kill for Ying here. So what the enemy team has left now is to try to do some kind of force for freezer main here. So what I need to do here, since it turns into a 2v3, I have to force one gunfight to get rid of the push for freezer here. Then I'm going to rotate back towards laundry where the Yana is, and I basically need to play for the 1v1 for her right here. Now, luckily, my mute kills the other guy that is on meeting hatch here, which actually opens up a play now where I just whip out my shield again and I just play safe now. I'm just here to burn time. I'm here to make this Yana panic, make it so he doesn't know how to play this position, and that's pretty much my main goal here is I have to funnel this enemy player while zapping him into my mute to give my mute an advantage gunfight. So you're going to see here my mute's going to run away though. He's going to play more time burn, and then he's going to go ahead and swing the bunker here to get a free kill on the Yana as I give him all of the callouts that he needs to win this gunfight. And that's pretty much your main role as Clash, is to basically funnel the enemy team into your teammates so they can get free kills. And if that's not possible, then you need to place down that shield to get rid of that side of the push. And then if you are able to get rid of a very crucial side of the push, then you go back into the same circle basically where you're trying to funnel the enemy team push into your teammates where you're zapping them, giving callouts, giving your teammates very easy gunfights. Now, a really fantastic map to play Clash on currently right now is actually Skyscraper. And the reason why is because typically for the exhibition bomb site, there's a lot of people that will do a backside push, especially in higher rank lobbies. They're going to usually push from T side, they're going to push from Geisha side, they're going to try to get control of Dragon as well as Terrace, and then try to make some kind of execute onto the bomb site with some kind of pincer maneuver. Now right here, what the enemy team is opting for is they're trying to do a play where they're going to be going for Terrace doorway with drum dragon basically in this position. So right here my Valk's going to kill one guy for Terrace doorway. This is going to lead to me being able to walk up for Terrace here, and then there's going to be a Dokumi inside a drum here. Meanwhile, there is somebody that is actually on my Terrace doorway in this position. Now right here in the current moment, I didn't know there was someone on my Terrace doorway here, so what I was trying to do here is I was trying to distract for my Valkyrie to walk up to get a free kill for this Dokkaebi. But what ends up happening is that while I was doing that, the guy on Terrace doorway walked up, so my Valkyrie was able to force that gunfight while I was distracting the Dokkaebi to get himself a free kill. And then that was happened to also be the fuser down on the Terrace doorway as well. So now all I really need to do now is I just need to focus on shutting down the enemy team for this side of the map. The only play for the enemy team right here, since I'm defending the fuser for Terrace side, is to actually go Dragon here. Now, what ends up happening is my Valkyrie is going to kill the guy that was Dragon side. This forces the Dokkaebi to have to push me aggressively. I see that my Valkyrie kills the guy Dragon side, so I place my shield down. This is going to prompt the Dokkaebi to try to run in on me, and since we're at this like weird perfect distance, as she's running in at me, I'm able to just line up with my shield to get a free head tap onto her to secure the round, because she has no other choice in that position than to just try to rush me to get rid of me, because if I stay alive in that position, it's just the same thing as before. I can just time burn her and it's GG's on the spot. So me putting down the shield right there is basically forcing her to rush me, because that's the only play that she has to win in that position, because if I just use my shield right there and just zap her down and slow her down, it's pretty much GG's on the spot. Now in this clip, the main thing that I wanted to show you guys from this one is that the understanding that you guys need to have when you are playing Clash is that your shields are your main priority. Screw everything else. Play to shut down the shields in particular, because if you can get rid of the shields off the board, that is going to make the enemy team's push a lot worse, especially if you're doing the meta right now with the bans where you just ban like hard breachers. The enemy team is very likely going to try to go for some kind of push where they are trying to make like a play with their shields basically. So whenever you're playing Clash, if your teammates call out, hey, there's a shield upstairs, hey, there's a shield over here, I need help, blah 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 blah, your goal with Clash is screw whatever push you're doing right now and go over to that shield to give your teammates a free kill on that shield, because they're going to be knocking that shield down for your teammates to get a free kill onto them. And if you kill that shield operator, the enemy team is very likely, like I said, if they don't have the hard breachers, then they probably won't have a play once that shield goes down to actually win the round from that point onward. Now, the other thing you've probably noticed me doing quite often than not when I am playing Clash is that a lot of the times I'll place my shield down and then I'll just pick it up right away. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to make the enemy team use some type of utility on me, and then the idea is that I'm just picking it up so that way I still have my shield and I also am burning some of their utility. And this makes Clash especially powerful against like people like Capital, like Nomad, or not Nomad, excuse me, Ashe, Zofia, those type of operators. You place your shield down, bait out like a Gon 6, bait out some Ashe charges, whatever, pick up your shield again, they waste their utility, and you get basically free value off of just placing your shield down and putting it back on to yourself basically. Now right here, the enemy team is going for a vert push here. However, there's not really much of a play for them from vert in this position. If I just sit here with my shield, I keep placing it and then not placing it. The idea here, you see here, right here, I'm doing it again. I'm trying to make that audio of me placing down my shield to try to get Capital to put down some of his Capital fire onto me, so I can basically make it so he's just wasting his utility in vain. We also have Doc in this position here, so Doc's able to heal me if the Capital actually does get fire damage onto me, you know what I mean? So this is another really good combination right now in the current meta. Now, since the enemy team realizes that Vert is no good in this position on lair here for this armory bomb site, they're going to rotate to try to hit our hallway in the back here. So what I'm going to do here is, once again, I'm shutting down this side of the push here. They're going to Capital fire. I'm going to go ahead and back up, make them waste that utility. The last guy in this position is actually also over here in this position, so I'm just going to go ahead and place my shield down because they have no play to win if they're not able to break my shield. And then what happens here is the Capital is going to peek me. I'm going to go ahead and just swing him aggressively. The last guy's also there as well. I prediction played where his angle would be to try to kill me if I were to swing him, and I just pre-fire him to get myself a free head tap to secure the round. And that's the idea of Clash in a nutshell. Now this next clip is going to be once again on Skyscraper for the office exhibition bomb site here. Now typically when I play this map, I'm typically going to shut down either Dragon side or Terrace side, depending on what is heavier for the enemy team. Now typically I'm going to rotate over towards Dragon side because I feel like Dragon side is typically like where people usually like to enter from on this map, and there's also a lot less windows on this side for the enemy team to shoot me in the back from. Now right here the enemy team is going to go ahead and open top house. Now right here for hindsight, with the enemy team opening this up, this is now a location that needs to be like watched basically. However, this can't really be like the main push of the enemy team. Does that make sense? So it's not really valuable for me to sit there with Clash to shut it down. However, it is a very easy place for me to deter people from pushing from if I just like make the audio of me placing my shield down in front of this hole basically, because it's going to basically freak out this Capital player that's on the breach right there from actually playing this position. And since he backs up all the way, I'm going to go ahead and recheck Dragon here. Nobody's making a push for Dragon here. However, I am going to start getting callouts from my teammates that the enemy team is going to be on the site window as well as Terrace in this position. There's also one guy below in this position here. Now once again guys, I'm trying to do that play again where I'm trying to make it so I'm placing my shield down for audio, so that way the enemy team gets scared from pushing this side of the map. Because basically the idea that they have here is that they could walk up house stairs, they could swing the house like hole that they opened up, and they could probably potentially kill people inside a site. Now right here, since I was shutting down from that side of the push, the only real play that they had was to jump inside window, but I was able to basically just rotate back over. I get my teammate a free kill, and then now the site window is pretty much dead for them in this position. So what they opt to do now is they try to opt for Terrace. Now one thing I want you guys to understand is don't be afraid to place your shield down and just swing somebody to ease the position up. You're going to see right there, I placed my shield down and I just swung immediately. That guy wasn't even ready for the gunfight because he didn't expect me to basically swing him without my shield. And that's something that you guys need to take advantage of when you are playing shields. You're going to see right here, there's going to actually be another guy that's going to end up pushing my Terrace bar here in a second. My Melusi is playing safe in this position because he doesn't want to sell his body and leave me in a 2v1 position. So I go ahead and let this Terrace guy walk up on me. And then right here, I made a mistake here, is after I killed that Terrace guy, I should have picked up my shield right away. That would have simplified this position. But right here, the last guy ends up jumping in for top house here. He flashes the window and then jumps in top house. He could have killed me and Melusi in that position because we got stuck on the doorway together. However, what ends up happening here is my Melusi just ends up playing time and plays his life behind this like little like shelf inside of Samurai there, and we go ahead and secure the round like that. However, that could have been very bad for us right there, and the way that I could have played that better is by just picking up my shield and then just playing time in that position and make the gunfight easy for my Melusi in that position, or just time burn myself in that position as well. But anyway guys, that's pretty much it. Your main goal as Clash isn't to get kills, it's to time burn people. And like I said, right now you are the hard counter for shields right now, so whatever you're doing, wherever position you are, if you teammates are giving you callouts on where the shield op is, or you hear a shield op or whatever, you need to rotate your butt over to that shield op to hard counter. And once you do that, it's going to simplify the position immensely. Like, for example, in this round, there's going to be a Monty and I believe a Capital that's going to push Freezer here. They're going to try to kill me with the Capital, and the Monty's going to try to walk up. And they even have EMPs to try to counter my zap. However, that doesn't necessarily do anything for them if they can't actually get rid of myself on the shield with my teammates playing behind me, basically. So right here, I'm playing for bunker originally here, just making sure that there's not really an easy push here. But then I start getting audio for back stairs here. There's people trying to work for back stairs. I'm making that shield audio again for back stairs. Now I'm like, okay, nobody's swinging me, nobody's here. So I'm going to go and just walk up to check it out to see what they're going for. They're not really going for it. I end up seeing red pings over by Freezer in this position. We spot the Monty here, which is very important to note because this signals to me in this solo queue game that I need to rotate over to Freezer to shut down that side of the push here. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate over to Freezer, and I'm going to basically simplify this position. I'm going to make the Monty basically useless here. You're going to see here, he tries to walk up. There's a guy behind him. I'm zapping the Monty. This Monty is helpless right now. He literally has no way of making any type of play right here. The Capital tries to cut off my retreat here, but I'm going to go ahead and just play in front of their face here because, like I said, since I have my teammates behind me, they can't actually make a play off of me in this position. Once again, I'm going to place my shield down again just to scare them, just to make them try to, you know what I mean, realize that, hey, this is not a push that they can take the position for. And then right here again, the Monty backs up to Freezer stairs. I walk up with my shield. I zap them. This is like the worst thing in the world for Monty players is when you just zap them endlessly. They just literally have no play whatsoever. You're going to see here the Capital tries to run down on me. I'm just going to keep zapping him, slowing him down. I'm going to place my shield down to make him back up. He's going to back up. I'm going to walk up now. They Aurora-gate my Freezer door here, which tells me that this push is dead. That means that their only play is Laundry and backstairs from earlier. And so I'm going to rotate now over to Pillar here. My teammate, my Jaeger, is going to get a free kill for Pillar. And then it pretty much just all falls apart for them here because they lost their Freezer pressure and we secured a round. But hope you guys enjoyed today's step-by-step video for Clash. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Peace!